Welcome back to the channel and thanks for looking at today's video. And today's video is about getting the Iraqi Army crew commanders for our BTR 60s that we did. A couple of them were missing crew commanders and we built them on the channel quite a while ago. And for our current build, which is the BRDM2s that don't have crew commanders in them. So this is sort of my process to crew them. And the first thing I do once you get your sprue, which normally comes like that, is I like to just cut out this middle section of the sprue. So go along, just trim it up, and just be careful around there, the top of their tanker hats, their crew commander helmets. And then I just cut this center section out and I'll drop that out. So you can pretty much paint them on the sprue then. That sort of frees up that section. So once that's out, I'll just get anything I've got around the house just to put a bit of blue tack on, and I'll just sit them on there. I mean, this is just one way. We'll do it other ways in other videos. Once I get done there, then I'll use Chaos Black, which is just a primer for plastic and metal models. Give the can a good shake. I'll do that off camera, and then I'll just give them a spray. So hopefully this is second to last video for the BRDM build. The next video I put out will have it all finished and complete. So once I get them primed like that, I let them dry. Now we're going to put that one aside and then go to one I've primed off camera. So you can see here that one's dried off camera, and then I just do a base coat over the whole sprue, and for that I use TS3 dark yellow. Once again, give it a good shake off camera, and then pop that lid and then just give the crew a good coating of that. Remember, you're only going to see part of, well, I mean, you see just about all of them, but along the bottom you might not see it, and where the hatch is you might not see part of them as well. So that's the second step. So we've got the two that we've just done there, and then I'll put them aside and I'll bring in one that's been primed to that stage. First I'll get rid of this bit of cardboard, which is only there whilst I spray, because, you know, I'm a bogan. And the next thing I'll do is skin I'll do face and hands, which is the parts you can see on the models. I'll use a range of different colours for skin, but today I'm using light brown. So I just got my palette here, a bit of water in one of the cells, get a bit of that on there, on that tray, on the palette. Find a brush. I don't find a real thin brush, one like that, which is, when it comes in focus, zero brush. That's fine. Just wet the end just to get it all together, and then what I'll do is just come along and just get some colour. Remember, the channel's about, I might try and bring that a bit closer. The channel's about getting models to that sort of table standard. So sorry I'm not doing display cabinet sort of stuff, but just gaming standard sort of stuff. So that's what I'll do. I'll just go around and just paint any bits, and I try to do one whole side, and then I'll switch it over to the other side. Anything you can see, I know I did paint that whole side, but I'm sort of just speeding it up for the camera. And yeah, I'll go around and paint the rest of those guys off camera, but that's what I do. Just a little bit of colour. Just that. And yeah, I think it's good to use a range of skin tone colours. And I'll give that brush just a quick little wash out. So that's my third step. And then I move on to this stage where these guys have been done, and they've been done a slightly different colour. So the other colour I used, the colour I used for these guys was tan yellow. And then I'll move on to doing the helmets, and I'll do them in black grey. Once again, give it a good shake. Just get a little bit on that palette. And then I'll just work my way around, try and get what I can done on this angle. And obviously he's got a hat on, so you can paint that a different colour. And any mistakes I make, I'll just finish all the colours and then just go back up and go back over and touch them up in a separate little painting session. I'll just tidy it up. Remember, just game painting, not winning awards painting, basic. So I'll do the rest off camera, and this is just done with the same brush, so a zero brush as well. This is if you got, limited brushes, maybe you can get away with doing a lot with the one brush, like I'm doing now. So we go around there and get them painted up like that, get their helmets done. So it's getting there, and then same, rinse that brush out. And then this sprues had the helmets painted and the skin colour as well done on them. And then I'm just going to change to a slightly finer brush. And number 020, so it's a little bit finer. It doesn't even look finer, but next I'm going to do any handheld equipment they might have in their hands, binoculars, radio pieces, things like that. And for that, I'm using Russian uniform. And you only need a drop. So a small drop of Russian uniform. And then I just go along he's holding a pair of binoculars or something, and he's holding a little radio piece in his hand. So, and what I do is go around the rest of them, do the same thing. That's the only two little areas I'm painting for that colour, because it's the only handheld equipment. And then the last colour before I do a wash over them is any red. So my red label's faded, but it's just red. Give them a good shake. Come on, red. Right, my red's not working, that's not good. So any red, take two. And I'll just go along and paint anyone who's got epaulets. I think they should have them painted if they want to be an officer or something, or stand out amongst the crew. You can Google search what to do, like what sort of uniforms they had, things like that. So I'll just give them a little touch up like that with that red. And then once I've done that, I'll go across with a panel line colour, and I use black and the black. I'll just go across and just touch up on their uniforms a little bit, just to highlight a few areas that it run through, and I find it just gives that little bit of depth to what they're doing. So yeah, just go around and touch them with a little bit of that. And that's how I do the crew commanders. That's the steps. Sorry about the noise. If I come back out, there's the steps, and that's how I'll do the crew commanders and get them painted up. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.